Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 32nd Annual City of Federal Way's Martin Luther King Jr. Day Community Celebration, sponsored by the City of Federal Way, the Federal Way Diversity Commission, and the MLK Celebration Subcommittee. Additional support sponsored by Lifestyles Barber Academy, the Multi-Service Center, the Boeing Employees Credit Union, the Federal Way Performing Arts and Events Center, Dory and Wilbur Peterson, and Northwest Church. We thank you for coming, and we hope you enjoy this year's celebration.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., thank you for giving us the opportunity to truly live our dreams. I have a dream that one day we will all understand how to manifest our dreams through our everyday actions. I have a dream that we will all, one person at a time, teach and learn from each other so much love and positive energy that race is no longer a subject. I have a dream that we will realize the key to any unopened door is mastered and crafted by our own minds. The discipline to sacrifice something of little value for hope and desire for something fulfilling, something of purpose. I have a dream. I have a dream that we will start to recognize our inner greatness by paying less attention to the entertainment and more attention to the inner arrangements of our lives. Paying more attention to what we are giving, paying more attention to the things that we are teaching through our actions. I have a dream. I have a dream that our young brothers will accept the reality that killing each other is killing the lives of our young kings that has the opportunity to grow and mature and to be examples for generations to come. I have a dream. I have a dream that we will celebrate and appreciate the mountains that we have already climbed and the courage that our ancestors have had to fight for what's right. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., you've brought life. We give life, we give love, we give energy through the power of our thoughts and words. And you've taught us how to manifest those dreams. I have a dream that we will live our dreams through our everyday actions and recognize a dream is only a dream until you decide to give life to that dream. Thank you, Dr. Martin Luther King, for giving us the opportunity to truly live our dreams. Kings and queens, keep dreaming.
Would you please stand for the national anthem?
Singing the national anthem is Seattle-born Kenesha Blackman. She has been singing for 32 years, starting at Powerhouse Kojic at age 6. In 2012, she was featured as a lead vocalist on the choir competition, How Sweet the Sound. In 2017, Kenesha was featured as a lead vocalist and top 12 finalist on the CBS hit show America's Got Talent. She has performed with legendary gospel and R&B artists such as Leandria Johnson, Fred Hammond, Dr. Myron Williams, and Common. Please welcome Kenesha Blackman.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so precious the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling seas. Sing a song full of the hope that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
Hello. I am the granddaughter of Elizabeth Collison. I am the daughter of Marina Festa. I am Catherine Festa, Haida Ribbon from the Double Fin Killer Whale Clan, First Nation, Old Massive, Haida Gwaii. My mother was Haida born and raised. My father was first generation Italian. Although land acknowledgements are powerful statements, they are only meaningful when coupled with authentic and sustained relationships with indigenous communities. And so, I'd like for all of us to acknowledge and show respect to the First Peoples, the indigenous peoples, our elders and ancestors. Past, present, and future on whose land we stand. Today, we offer deep gratitude to the Muckleshoot, Puyallup, and Dormish tribes, and to the Coast Salish, whose lands and waters surround us. Let us commit to learning more about our histories and celebrate their culture and traditions that remain a vital part of our communities, because we are still here. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to the City of Federal Way's 32nd Annual MLK Celebration. This year's theme, The Next Generation of the Dream, is an inspiring and hopeful reminder that the children are our future. My name is Shanice Rogers, and I have the privilege of serving as chair of the Diversity Commission. The Diversity Commission is here to enrich the lives of all people who live, work, and play in Federal Way by advising and guiding the city government with an equity lens on policies, procedures, and practices and current emerging issues. With me today, I have the Diversity Commission here. I have a few of my members here, and it's my privilege to introduce you to Commissioner Ron Walker, Commissioner Donna Arnold, and Commissioner Shantae Lane. And here to introduce our MC for the day, please welcome former council member Martin Moore.
Good morning, Federal Way. Are we awake? You know, they say the key to public speaking is to imagine your audience in their pajamas. But looking around, I can see that you're all far too dignified for that trick to work, so I'll just stick with the basics. Breathe, smile, and don't trip on the way back to my seat. It is an honor to join you on this special day as we celebrate the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the rich diversity that defines our community. Federal Way is a wonderfully diverse city, home to people who speak many languages and represent cultures from around the world. Yet alongside this richness of diversity, we also face challenges like poverty and homelessness, issues that impact far too many in our community and test our compassion and commitment to one another. Dr. King's teaching reminds us that addressing these challenges is essential to building a more just and equitable society for everyone. Dr. King's vision of unity, equality, and justice calls on us to rise above division, not just in our daily interactions, but also in our politics. It reminds us that true progress comes when we work together with respect and understanding, even when we see the world differently. I'm here today because I had the incredible privilege of working alongside the late Representative Roger Freeman. Roger stood for opening doors to opportunities for people from all walks of life. A principle he not only preached, but also lived every single day. Whether he was advocating for justice, championing inclusions, or simply showing compassion to those in need, Roger believed in the power of opportunity to transform lives. I first met Roger when he was a council member, and I had the honor of working on his council campaign. Later, I guided his state legislative campaign where he was elected as our state representative and had the ultimate privilege of serving as his legislative aide for 2 years. During that time, Roger and I shared countless conversations about justice, faith, and life. He was one of the most genuine, compassionate, and authentic individuals I've ever met and known. You could just simply feel that he was just someone truly special. The Roger Freeman Memorial Award was created to honor the legacy of a man who dedicated his life to lifting others up and making a difference in his community. It represents the values Roger lived by: justice, compassion, inclusion, and integrity. This award recognizes young leaders in our community who embody those same ideals, who stand for justice, advocate for inclusions, and show compassion in their daily actions. I also want to take a moment to thank the Diversity Commission for their unwavering commitment to keeping this award alive over the years. Their efforts ensure that Roger's legacy continues to inspire and uplift our community. We look forward to the near future when we will announce opportunities for individuals to apply and be a part of this meaningful recognition. And now, it is my true pleasure to introduce someone who carries forward Roger's spirit and dedication, Ms. Ayanna Freeman. As many of you know, she is serving as today's Master of Ceremonies. Ayana brings her father's same warmth, passion, and commitment to building a better community. A talented local musical artist with a sweet soul, she inspires us through her words whenever she performs. Please join me in welcoming Ayana as she guides us through this meaningful event. Thank you.
Hi, welcome everyone. Good to see you all today. Thank you all for being here. I'm honored to be the Master of Ceremonies for this event, so I surely hope that you enjoy everything that we've worked hard to put together, all the performances, all of the speeches, and I hope you all take a moment to reflect on what this day means to you. To me, it is a day of service, a day of remembrance, and just taking time to reflect on how I can best serve my community, what my actions and behaviors can do to help someone's life, even if it's just opening the door or advocating for opportunities for them to have. So again, I thank you all for being here and hope you enjoy. And now I will go about introducing our next performance, Northwest Tap Connection. Northwest Tap Connection is a race and social justice dance studio that was founded and deeply rooted in rhythm tap. Northwest Tap Connection also cultivates a broad spectrum of dance styles: African, jazz, modern, ballet, swing, ballroom, and hip hop into its curriculum and performances. NTC is dedicated to developing the whole dancer through a love of dance, personal discipline, respect for the community, respect for fellow dancers and artists, and a knowledge of the history of various art forms. NTC fosters an environment where dancers can grow artistically and technically, while also developing self-esteem, leadership skills, and social responsibility. Please give a warm welcome to Northwest Tap Connection.
Got you effortlessly. That's the way
definitely thought so. That was excellent. Thank you, Northwest TAP. All right, our next performance is, I will be introducing Mayor Jim Ferrell to the stage now. Mayor Jim Ferrell began his tenure in 2014 and is currently in his third term as mayor. He is the longest serving elected public official for the city of Ferrell Way. Under his leadership, the city has seen infrastructure improvements, financial improvements, and safety improvements, all for the betterment of his beloved city. He played football at the UW as a walk-on linebacker under legendary coach Don James. He received the Guy Flattery Award, which is the program's oldest and most prestigious recognition for inspiration. Voted on by his teammates, he was the first walk-on, non-starter to ever receive the award. Mayor Ferrell graduated from the University of Washington and earned his law degree from Gonzaga University before serving as a prosecutor for the city of Renton and working in the King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office. Mayor Jim Ferrell believes government works best when it's guided by the voice of the people. And as such, he has led successful efforts to improve transparency and community outreach. He leads Ferrell Way in consonance with his strength of character and resolve. And he looks forward to the future for more good things to come. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to our mayor, Jim Ferrell.
Thank you, Anna. Your father would be so proud of you. You know, he was a friend to so many of us, and I miss Roger all the time. He was such a great individual, and I want to thank the Diversity Commission and the individuals who put this on every year. That really has done justice to Roger's memory. Before we get started, I do want to say a very special thank you to our elected leaders and special guests. We have our King County Councilman, Pete Von Reichbauer. Pete, thank you very much. We have our Council President, Linda Kochmar. City Council Member, Susan Honda. Councilmember Jack Walsh. Well, it's so great to see everybody this morning, and thank you for being here. It looks beautiful. It was a little cold in the morning, but you know, I want to say that it's so great to gather here at this beautiful facility and to really come together as a community. You know, I look forward to this event every year, and I'm always honored to be able to reflect on the life and legacy of the great Martin Luther King Jr. You know, Dr. King left an indelible impact on the history of this nation and the entire world. His commitment to nonviolence and emphasis on love and equality made him a peerless advocate in the battle for civil rights during the middle of the last century. His voice was an essential part of the progress of the movement toward equality for all, a movement that is still alive and fighting today. Though some of the other speeches and works are more culturally regarded, I always return to his letters from the Birmingham jail, published in April 16th of 1963. It's an essential text for understanding the protest movement and the fight for civil rights in the United States. You see, Dr. King was responding in that letter from a jail cell. It's very difficult for me to imagine this. Here he is as a young pastor. He's just, at that point, he was just in his early 30s. He's sitting in a jail cell, and he's responding to a group of his fellow clergy individuals, people that he regarded, people that were likely his friends. And in that letter, he was responding to the clergymen who were critical of his efforts, organizing protests in the city of Birmingham. Dr. King set out the key elements of his ideology in an open letter. He wrote, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." He also wrote, "Oppressed people cannot remain oppressed forever. The urge for freedom will eventually come." Dr. King believed in the nonviolence and dedication to confrontation that creates the pressure needed to make change and encourage legal and cultural progress. He studied the teachings of Gandhi and made them the centerpiece of his efforts and the movement's efforts in the United States. You see, in his view, violence was not necessary, but only sharpened the blade of discord even further. As he would often say, an eye for an eye will leave us all blind. Despite having a very young family, Dr. King's commitment to the movement was so strong, he was willing to go to jail, he was willing to endure the threats, the violence, and eventually his life. He never held public office. He never wielded the instruments or power of the state. Instead, he derived his power from the justice and righteousness of his cause. Often when I think of Dr. King, I'm reminded of the speech Bobby Kennedy gave in Indianapolis on the night of Dr. King's assassination. There were riots, demonstrations, and violence in more than 100 cities across the nation, but Indianapolis was not one of them. Bobby and his team drove deep into the neighborhood that night and stood in the back of a pickup truck and solemnly spoke to the gathered crowd in one of the most iconic extemporaneous speeches in American history. For many in attendance, he delivered the news of Dr. King's ultimate untimely death. You could even hear, when you go back and watch this, which I would encourage you to do, you could even hear the shrieks of disbelief in the background as they were hearing about it for the very first time. Bobby Kennedy did something that night that was very important for the movement and for this nation. He didn't talk down to the crowd. He didn't try to stoke the need for violence or tap into the darker instincts of humanity and a reflexive desire for retribution. Instead, he spoke up to them. He spoke about his own brother who'd been slain. He spoke about moving forward and healing a nation that had been deeply scarred. He quoted the famous Greek philosopher Aeschylus and said, "Even in our sleep, pain which cannot forget falls drop by drop upon the heart until, in our own despair, against our will, comes the wisdom through the awful grace of God." Dr. King's legacy, in part, is the understanding that although the temptation exists, and it's powerful, to respond to violence and threats with more of the same, that is not the way forward. We must turn the other cheek and lift our fellow men and women, members of the community, our beloved community, and move forward to see the good in people. So, as we reflect and honor the work, the life, and the legacy of Dr. King, let us do more than remember his words. Let us live by them. There is more work we can all do in our community to promote equality and push back on those who fight against it. We face a difficult time in our nation and in the world. We must decide what path we will walk. And it must be one of justice and peace and ultimately nonviolence. Dr. King knew the way forward. Let us follow his example together as a tribute to all that he sacrificed. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you again, Mayor Ferrell, for that lovely speech. Our next act that we will be introducing to the stage is Ferrell Dance Troupe. St. Vincent de Paul Ferrell Dance Troupe has been a vibrant part of the Ferrell Way community for over 12 years, celebrating and sharing the rich cultural heritage of the Philippines. Under the leadership of Barbara Gamble, who has dedicated more than a decade to teaching traditional Filipino folk dances, the group has inspired young performers from 1st to 8th grade. Through their performances, they not only enrich the lives of their students, but also foster a deeper appreciation of Filipino culture within the broader community. The troupe's mission is to preserve and pass on these treasured traditions, ensuring they thrive for generations to come. Please join me in welcoming now to the stage Ferrell Dance Troupe. enjoyed that, didn't you? Excellent work. Thank you so much, Willem Dance Troupe. At this time, I will be introducing our Life of MLK speakers, who are youth that live, worship, and play in our community. And with these speakers, they will be highlighting 7 major accomplishments in the life of Martin Luther King Jr. Please welcome to the stage the Life of MLK speakers.
Hello, my name is Kaylani Johnson and I am in 6th grade. Today I'll be talking about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s early life. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., whose real name is Michael King Jr., was born on January 15, 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia. His parents, Martin Luther King Sr., was a pastor, and Alberta Williams King was a school teacher. King was a gifted student, and he attended segregated public schools where he was able to skip several grades. At the age of 15, he was admitted to Morehouse College, where both his father and maternal grandfather attended. After graduating in 1948, King entered Crozer Theological Seminary in Pennsylvania, where he earned a bachelor's degree in divinity. He also won a prestigious fellowship and was elected president of his predominantly white senior class. King then enrolled in a graduate program at Boston University, where he completed his coursework in 1953 and earned a doctorate in systematic theology 2 years later. King then enrolled, while in Boston, he met Coretta Scott. She was a young, talented singer from Alabama who was studying at the New England Conservatory of Music. The couple married in June of 1953 and settled in Montgomery, Alabama, where Dr. King then became the pastor of Dexter Avenue Baptist Church. They had 4 children: Yolanda Denise King, Martin Luther King III, Dexter Scott King, and Bernice Albertine King. Hello, my name is Caleb Johnson, and I'll be talking about the Civil Rights Act of 1964. President John F. Kennedy entered the White House in 1961. He initially delayed supporting new anti-discrimination measures during his presidency, but that changed when he saw the protests in Birmingham, Alabama, where police brutally suppressed nonviolent protesters with dogs, clubs, and fire hoses. John F. Kennedy proposed the act to end discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin in June 1963, saying the United States will not be fully free until all of its citizens are free. But before anything could take place, he was assassinated that December. The new president, Lyndon B. Johnson, supported what Kennedy was trying to do, so he stood up to the challenge. Johnson signed the act into law on July 2, 1964, known as the Civil Rights Act. Under the act, segregation of race, religion, or national origin was banned at public places, which include courthouses, parks, restaurants, theaters, sports arenas, and hotels. Black people could no longer be denied service simply based on their skin color. But Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was not done. He said the act was nothing less of a second emancipation, and so the acts were later expanded to include disabled Americans, the elderly, and women in collegiate athletics. And even though racism is still a problem we face today, legal segregation has been torn down in the United States.
Hi, my name is Joel Bowman, and I'll be sharing with you the letter from Birmingham Jail on the Negro is Your Brother's speech, which is an open letter that was written on April 16th of 1963 by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The letter essentially conveys that everyone has a moral responsibility to break unfair laws and to take direct action for change, rather than expecting it to come while doing nothing. Responding to being referred as an outsider, Dr. King wrote, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. To me, this means that justice should prevail everywhere, and that if there's injustice anywhere, that justice has not been fully obtained." In the letter, it was then advised that people would support the acts of police brutality which occurred during that time, that they should rather recognize and appreciate the acts of those who decided to be a change, like James Meredith, a civil rights activist, and like every African American man and woman who fought for our people and paved the way for us. Hello everyone, I'm Ryan Dickerson and I will be sharing with you a little bit about Rosa L. Parks, a civil rights activist in the Montgomery bus boycott. During Rosa's childhood, she experienced the injustice of segregation firsthand. At the age of 6 years old, she was told she was not free, and by the age of 20, she would be hung for not following directions she was told by white people. Rosa did not attend school for a long time because of the segregation, so she was homeschooled. At the age of 11, Rosa's mom decided to enroll her in the industrial school for girls, a segregated school for young black girls. Rosa was not able to ride the school bus, so she had to walk 3 miles to school every day. Unfortunately, Rosa's education stopped at 6th grade, but she later went back to school. Rosa experienced many difficulties in her life that brought her to her act of bravery. On December 1st, 1955, she was arrested for violating a law that required black passengers to give up their seats to white passengers when the bus was full. Rosa was arrested and locked up. After a few hours of being in jail, civil rights leader Nixon, followed by friends, bailed her out. Rosa's act of defiance led to the Montgomery bus boycott and desegregation of public buses in Alabama. Parks' action inspired a generation of people to fight for racial equality and justice. Parks gives her credits and inspiration to Martin Luther King Jr. for inspiring her. Rose not only stood up for her rights, but she showed others around the world how they should stand up for theirs. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Serena, and today I will be speaking about the SCLC. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Ralph Abernathy, and Fred Shuttlesworth were among the founders of the SCLC. The SCLC's leadership was mostly made up of ministers who believed that churches should be involved in political activism. The SCLC's goal was to redeem the soul of America through nonviolent resistance. Their actions included boycotts, marches, and other forms of nonviolent protest. The SCLC believed that nonviolence was the most effective way for oppressed people to fight for freedom and dignity. Thank you.
Hello everybody, my name is Joseph Bowman. I'm here to talk about Dr. King's Nobel Peace Prize. In 1964, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was the youngest person with the Nobel Peace Prize. He earned this honor for leading the fight against racial segregation without using violence. With peaceful protests and powerful speeches, Dr. King showed that change could happen through love and justice, not hate or violence. This award wasn't just for him. It was a symbol of hope for people everywhere, proving that standing together can make a difference. Thank you.
Hi guys, I'm Amaria Davidson, and today I will be speaking about the Presidential Medal of Freedom. The Presidential Medal of Freedom is the highest award a citizen in the U.S. can get. It's given to people who have done amazing things to help the country make the world a more peaceful and or improve the lives of others. Monday, January 15th, 2018 would have been Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s 89th birthday. His legacy remains strong, nearly a decade after his death. In 1968, President Jimmy Carter awarded Dr. King the posthumous Presidential Medal of Freedom. The ceremony also honored the King's family fight for justice and nonviolence. Thank you.
Thank you again, MLK, Life of MLK speakers. Let's give another warm round of applause. All right, very good. So now this time, I will be introducing Happy Dance Studio. The mission and achievements of Happy Dance Studio demonstrate their efforts in inheriting and promoting Chinese folk dance. By providing in-depth artistic knowledge and dance training, the studio not only helps students improve their skills, but also enhances their understanding of traditional Chinese culture. This exploration of culture enables students to display rich cultural connotations through the language of dance, while also promoting communication and understanding between people of different backgrounds. Happy Dance Studio is not only a dance team, but also a cultural ambassador dedicated to promoting the integration and dissemination of diverse cultures through dance. Please help me welcome to the stage, Happy Dance Studio. Thank you very much, Happy Dance Studio. That was so beautiful and graceful. Thank you again. All right, so our next performance is Integrity Life Children's Choir. Integrity Life Church's Children's Choir is a group of children ages 3 to 10 years old that love to sing, dance, and act. Let's have a warm welcome for Integrity Life Church Children's Choir.
Write it down.
Next, I will be introducing to the stage Carol Harris for the Poor People's Campaign. Carol Harris, affectionately known as Mother Carol, has been an activist for justice and equality for many years. She believes in love and respect. She's often heard sing, "I love you, and you can't do anything about it." Please welcome to the stage Carol Harris of the Poor People's Campaign.
Hello, everyone. As she said, my name is Carol Harris, and my bio is so extensive, I made it as simple. I love her. I said, I love you, you can't do nothing about it. I didn't want her to go through that. But this is my sister, Karen Austin, from the Poor People's Campaign. And I also am the President Emeritus for the AFRAP for SEIU, and on the Executive Board for SEIU 925. I wear many hats. I'm an evangelist at my church. I'm telling you, I wear many hats. But this Poor People Campaign, what is the Poor People's Campaign, someone may ask? And why is it important for the next generation of the dream? I'm glad you asked. Dr. King developed the idea of the Poor People's Campaign at the end of 1967. His dream of the campaign came to life after his assassination. Now, through you and me, the Poor People's Campaign, through us, his dream lives on. In 2018, Bishop William Barber and Reverend Liz Theo Harris envisioned a new movement to address the issues that Dr. King spoke about in his original campaign. Bishop Barber traveled across country to many states, but he also came here to our state, to Washington, in 2017 and 2018. Reverend Barber is someone that you, if you don't know or haven't heard about him, you need to know and you need to hear about him, and you absolutely need to hear him speak, because you will feel the spirit of Dr. King in him. He kept the Poor People's Campaign going. He started it, and it's going through us. But I tell you, Reverend Barber, thank you, Jesus, for Reverend Barber. It takes everybody to fight against injustice. We are stronger together. When you link arms, you're stronger together than trying to be by yourself. We are stronger together. So let's stay together. Let's stick together and fight this fight. That's what the Poor People Campaign believe. That's what Dr. King believed, and that's what we believe. My heart, everybody got a story, but my heart has been troubled over the years due to injustice of racism and economic hardships. My heart has been troubled because I needed to retire. After working over 40 years in the medical field, I needed to retire. From there, but not from this. Oh Lord, and I still had to live from paycheck to paycheck after working so hard. Don't think I didn't try to do better, but I was pushed back. They didn't think I was going to stay to retire. But one thing I say for sure, I walked in here to retire, and when I walked in here, I didn't walk in here with y'all and put y'all on my application. I put my family on my application, so I'm staying. If you don't like me here, you leave, because I ain't going nowhere. So I retired from the University of Washington after 30 years there and 20 years everywhere else. Yeah. My heart was troubled when I witnessed a loved one because being turned away from an emergency room because of the lack of insurance. This is why the Poor People's Campaign fight. This is why Dr. King put it in place, because of things like this. Things like we got to work so hard from paycheck to paycheck. What kind of savings you gonna do like that? Participating in the Poor People's Campaign, I was so glad to bump into the Poor People's Campaign in 2017, 2018 when Dr. Barber came here, because participating with them, fighting with them, standing up for justice, speaking for those who don't speak for themselves, are afraid to speak for themselves. I may be afraid, but guess what? You go afraid, but you go. Don't just stand there and let injustice happen. If you are quiet and you see things going on wrong and you do nothing, you are part of the problem. Yeah. Everybody got to fight. It takes all of us to do this job. So participating with the Poor People's Campaign, it gave me a voice. It gave me a voice to speak in Washington, D.C. In 2023, I went there with the Poor People's Campaign, with my sister. In speaking these truths, I found power in knowing I was not alone. I looked around and there were thousands of people who was going through what I was going through. It was thousands of people from the Poor People Campaign all over the country that was there standing with me in Washington, D.C. to tell our truths. We can't stop, family. We cannot stop. We have to respect each other through understanding. My culture may be different than yours, but learn of me and respect me for who I am. Let's respect each other for who they are. I have Filipino brothers and sisters. I have Asian. This is my sister. I love her. I love my sister. And turn around, Karen. I want you to read her shirt. I'm going to help you. Poverty is the fourth leading cause of death. And Karen, why don't you read my shirt?
Poverty equals death, America's shame.
Poverty is America's shame. America should be shame on you. Dr. King said you have written us a check and we send it back insufficient funds. We will fight. We're not going to give in and we're not going to give up. We can't stop, family. We won't be silent anymore. No. If you've been silent, we won't be silent anymore. We won't get anywhere that way. Power to the people. Thank you.
Thank you for that powerful speech, Carol Harris. That definitely, I'm sure, resonated with everyone when it comes to talking about the impacts of poverty on our nation and even in federal ways, so thank you. At this time, I'll be introducing Arib Matara. We are the Arib Matara Gida team, a passionate group of girls from ABC Dance Center based in Renton, Washington. Born and raised in the United States, we have found strength and connection to our Punjabi cultural roots through Gida, a lively and expressive traditional folk dance of Punjab, India. Our shared love for Gida unites as a team, and our goal is simple: to inspire girls and women to preserve the beautiful tradition of Gida for generations to come. We are thrilled to share that we won the first prize at World Folk Festival 2025, held in Surrey, British Columbia, competing with talented teams from all over the world. Please give a warm welcome at this time to Arib Matara.
They see crew, they see crew, they ਵੇ ਤੇਥੋਂ ਰੂਪ ਦੀ ਤਾਰੀਫ ਵੀ ਨਾ ਸਰਦੀ ਮੈਂ ਤੇਰੇ ਮਾਰੀ ਨਿੱਤ ਸ਼ੀਸ਼ੇ ਮੂਰੇ ਖੜਦੀ ਤੇਥੋਂ ਰੂਪ ਦੀ ਤਾਰੀਫ ਵੀ ਨਾ ਸਰਦੀ ਤੇਰੇ ਮਾਰੀ ਨਿੱਤ ਸ਼ੀਸ਼ੇ ਮੂਰੇ ਖੜਦੀ ਵੇਖ ਨੈਣਾ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਢੁੱਲਦਾ ਸਰੂਰ ਵੇ ਕਾਤੋਂ ਮਹਿਫਲਾਂ ਚੋਂ ਫਿਰੇ ਡੱਟ ਪੁੱਟਦਾ ਸਾਲ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਕਰਾਈ ਨਾ ਤੂੰ ਕੰਗਣੀ ਨਾਪ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਲੈ ਗਿਆ ਏ ਗੁੱਟ ਦਾ ਸਾਲ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਕਰਾਈ ਨਾ ਤੂੰ ਕੰਗਣੀ ਨਾਪ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਲੈ ਗਿਆ ਏ ਗੁੱਟ ਦਾ
ਨਿਵਾਨ ਕਾਦੇ ਖੁੱਲੇ ਛੱਡੇ ਰੌਲਾ ਪੈ ਗਿਆ ਏ ਹਾਏ ਕਿੰਨਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਦਿਲ ਹਾਏ ਦੀ ਹੌਲਾ ਪੈ ਗਿਆ ਏ ਹਾਏ ਮੋਟੇ ਮੋਟੇ ਬੈਂਡ ਹੇਜ਼ਲ ਜੇ ਰੰਗ ਦੇ ਨੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੀ ਇਹ ਜਾਨ ਮੰਗਦੇ ਮੇਰੀਆਂ ਅਦਾਵਾਂ ਦੀ ਤੋਹੀਨ ਹੋਊਗੀ ਜੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਤੰਗ ਪਲ ਪਲ ਨਾ ਕਰਾਂ ਮੁੰਡਾ ਕਰਦਾ ਤਾਰੀਫ ਮੇਰੀ ਗੱਲ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਅੱਗੋਂ ਸੰਗ ਦੀ ਜੀ ਗੱਲ ਨਾ ਕਰਾਂ ਮੁੰਡਾ ਕਰਦਾ ਤਾਰੀਫ ਮੇਰੀ ਗੱਲ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਅੱਗੋਂ ਸੰਗ ਦੀ ਜੀ ਗੱਲ ਨਾ ਕਰਾਂ
ਸਿੰਪਲ ਜਿਹਾ ਸੂਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਖਾਸ ਤੇਰੀ ਲੁੱਕ ਨੀ ਟੌਪ ਦੀਆਂ ਸੋਹਣੀਆਂ ਚ ਟੌਪ ਤੇਰੀ ਠੁੱਕ ਨੀ ਰੱਬ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਅੱਖ ਨਾ ਏ ਬੈਟਰੀ ਤੇ ਚੱਲੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਵੇਖ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਬੈਟਰੀ ਸੀ ਜਾਣੀ ਮੁੱਕ ਨੀ ਦੂਰੋਂ ਹੀ ਸਮਾਈਲਾਂ ਪਾਸ ਕਰਦੀ ਤੂੰ ਆਵੇਂ ਦਿਲ ਤੱਕਦੀ ਥਾਂ ਕਰੇ ਤਨ ਬੱਲੀਏ ਮਾਪਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਅੱਖ ਦਾ ਨੀ ਤਾਰਾ ਗੱਭਰੂ ਮੋਲਿਆ ਤੂੰ ਕਹਿ ਕੇ ਚੰਨ ਬੱਲੀਏ ਮਾਪਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਅੱਖ ਦਾ ਨੀ ਤਾਰਾ ਗੱਭਰੂ ਮੋਲਿਆ ਤੂੰ ਕਹਿ ਕੇ ਚੰਨ ਬੱਲੀਏ ਤੂੰ ਤੇ ਅੰਬਰਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਆਈ ਹੋਈ ਹੂਰ ਸੋਹਣੀਏ ਤੇਰੇ ਇਸ਼ਕੇ ਚ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਮੈਂ ਚੂਰ ਸੋਹਣੀਏ ਅੰਬਰਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਆਈ ਹੋਈ ਹੂਰ ਸੋਹਣੀਏ ਤੇਰੇ ਇਸ਼ਕੇ ਚ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਮੈਂ ਚੂਰ ਸੋਹਣੀਏ ਗੱਜ ਵੱਜ ਕੇ ਕਰਾਂਗਾ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਪਿਆਰ ਮੁਕਰਾਂ ਤੇ ਤਾਂ ਮਰ ਜਾ ਮੁਕਰਾਂ ਤੇ ਤਾਂ ਮਰ ਜਾ ਮੁਕਰਾਂ ਤੇ ਤਾਂ ਮਰ ਜਾ
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s message can be heard everywhere.
His words changed the nation.
And though you might not know where the words came from,
you can feel the truth behind them.
We're now faced with the fact that tomorrow is today. We're confronted with the fierce urgency of now.
The Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. called us all to service.
Opportunities to serve those in need are all around you.
And every time you volunteer to read to a child, serve a hearty meal, or clean up a park in your comunidad, his message becomes a reality.
This January is your chance to let MLK's word inspire you to action.
You can volunteer for a better tomorrow on MLK Day at AmeriCorps.gov/MLK Day.
On January 20th, 2025, the nation will celebrate the 30th anniversary of Martin Luther King Jr. Day of Service, where Americans volunteered to honor Dr. King's legacy. Through service and volunteerism, we have the power to bring people together, help others stand together against hate, and create the beloved community of Dr. King's dreams.
For 30 years, the MLK Day of Service has grown and its impact has increased as more Americans embrace the idea that citizenship involves taking an active role in improving the communities where we live, work, and play. Every year, we show the nation that joining together in service can unify Americans of different backgrounds and experiences to transform their lives and the lives of others. Service to others cuts through those forces that try and divide us. It gives us communities across the nation a way to build bridges and break down barriers and reveal our common humanity.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. believed in a nation of freedom and justice for all, and encouraged all citizens to live up to the purpose and potential of America by applying the principles of nonviolence. MLK Day of Service is a way to honor his life and teachings by engaging in community action that continues to solve social problems.
Join us this MLK Day to build a beloved community through unity, service, and transformation. Volunteer to bridge divides and create lasting change that will benefit our communities for years to come. Find project ideas and planning resources at ysa.org/MLK Day. Let's strive to make that a reality by working together towards building a beloved community. Thank you.
Thank you again for that call to action. That was by, I apologize if I mispronounce it, is it Anissa and Keith Rogers. Thank you again for that. At this time, we will be doing a little bit of a meet and greet. So turn to your neighbor, if you don't know them, shake their hand, say hi. We'll be doing that for a moment. Thank you very much, everyone. I hope you were able to meet someone new and strike up a conversation. At this time, if you could please take your seats again, and we'll continue throughout the program. At this time, I'll be introducing Evan Cook to the stage. Evan Cook is a community advocate for youth and a leader in the city of Ferrell. On a mission as a healer in the community, he founded Restoring Minds, LLC, a multifaceted company that includes public speaking and a clothing and art store he runs with his family. The mission is to rebuild this world through service and inspiration, helping youth and young adults find their purpose in life. Through challenging and developing policy, he co-founded and now sits as the board chair for the Ferrell Way Black Collective. Please welcome Evan Cook to the stage.
As I sleep and await the day when the world is cool, when the world is not ran by fools, when I can wake up and fly in a world where the skies never cry. A place that feels like a breeze through my spine, letting us know that the world is fine, but yet raised up with the sounds of tears, sitting in a house because of fears, never knowing being betrayed by peers, but how do I escape? At times I feel love and at other times hate. Why is this? Can anyone answer? And tell me why the people of the world are the real cancer. As our world slowly dies and the sky still cries with stars covered by smoke and the sun that hides, but yet I still dream of a place so beautiful all the birds sing. A place that could cure any crack fiend. A place where the nice and accepts no mean. Not a place where a guy was shot down, but yet a place that only heard a soothing sound. A place that made you sway as if you were listening to a saxophone playing Sade. They say, we were made in the image of a man who only did good, but make his image look bad while we fight for what we think is good. Why this world, and how do I escape? Give me an answer. I can't take the hate. I can't take it. We as people are not trying to make it. Made rules, but yet we still break it, then add rules and people manipulate it. I don't like it. And I even try and fight it. But I'm a part of this world too, and I can't hide it. I can't hide the fact that we are filled with hate. I can't hide the fact that we steal and we rape while we kill to create this real world with people who are fake. So tell me, people, how can we escape and speak with honesty when we say this world is great? Thank you. First, give an honor to God, my ancestors and spirit guides, Dr. King for his dream, as well as the indigenous that was removed from the land that we gather on today, as well as all the native and black native tribes that have been displaced from their land around America. I greet you all in the name of peace. To my Arabic and or Muslim brothers and sisters, I say to you, Assalamu alaikum. To my Jew and Jewish brothers and sisters, I greet you, Shalom. To my white folk in the crowd, how you doing? It's good to see you. And to everybody else, I greet you in the Black American native phrase that hails from the Midwest up in Detroit. What up, though? What up, though? I'd like to say thank you to the Diversity Commission for giving me the opportunity to be the keynote speaker for this year's MLK Celebration. After I get through this, I hope you'll invite me back again, but however, I am extremely grateful. The message I would like to share with you all isn't one of hope, neither is it one of despair. I would like to simply illuminate our current state and address what we can do right here in Federal Way to uphold a dream that has never been upheld. To inspire our youth to climb a mountain that a man gave his life trying to climb. He said he wouldn't get there with us, and I doubt I will too. And I know Dr. King is up in heaven right now shaking his head at the fact that we haven't really gotten anywhere as a people, nor as a society. You know, I was hesitant to accept this opportunity because fundamentally I disagree with some of the civil rights movement. It hasn't done half of what they brag about, and we have found ourselves, in my opinion, lost and in a worse predicament than we could imagine. This is the burning house Dr. King referred to in his interview with Harry Belafonte in 1968, shortly before his life was taken. I believe if Dr. King were here, he would say, this was not my dream, this was my nightmare. And the fears I had when we have seen everything promised to us, yet given to others. But what are we to do now? What are we to do now in a time when it seems the dream has been deferred? When progress feels stagnant or even regressive? First, we must not be afraid to confront the truth with clarity and courage and be able to have honest dialogue and not keep perpetuating a dream that is yet to be fulfilled. Dr. King warned us about the dangers of integration without justice, about the risk of gaining access without changing systematic structures that continuously and consistently perpetuate inequality here in Federal Way, the Pacific Northwest, and what has been embedded into the fabric and the foundation of the United States of America. Here we stand, still grappling with these lies because we are afraid of the truth. We are afraid to call a spade, but not in 2025, Jack. This is the year we face the mirror. This is the year we reignite that spark Black Americans created long before the Civil Rights Movement. The spark that built Black Wall Street before the government dropped a bomb on it. I say it's time we stop dreaming and wake up. We wake up and recognize that the work of the civil rights was not just about legislative victories, nor about breaking barriers. It was supposed to be about the transformation of hearts and minds. But like Stokely Carmichael once said, we cannot change the hearts and minds of those who have no hearts. You cannot change systems that were never built for you in the first place. Those systems must be destroyed to the core and rebuilt by the hands of our children. This is not to dismiss the hard-fought small wins of the past, but to inform you that those battles are still being fought, and we will only win if we are willing to continue a fight that we can barely even see anymore. Now, more than ever, it's crucial that we light the path for the younger generation, preparing them to take over and continue the fight, not for justice and equality. Malcolm told us that was for chumps. No, we must continue this fight for freedom. We must find our role in this fight and stop putting down our youth and stop raising them as if they are not under attack. Our job is not to lead, it's to empower and to pass the torch to those who will inherit this ongoing struggle and with their youthful warrior energy innovate and develop new methods, because after this speech, that old way is dead. In Federal Way, in our community of South King County, the Pacific Northwest, we have the power to become the architects of a new dream. A dream that is truly inclusive, equitable, and just. That dream starts with holding ourselves and our leaders accountable. And it will go a lot faster if some of those leaders, you know who you are, got out of those seats and stopped slowing down the progress and being the gatekeepers of an oppressive system that is hurting all of us. It starts with acknowledging the systematic inequities that still persist and actively working to dismantle them. It is not the job of the oppressor to liberate the oppressed. It is the job of the oppressed to liberate the oppressed and the oppressor. Education, community, and economic empowerment, and a spiritual rebirth are the pillars upon which we must build. We need to support our local schools to ensure every child in this city has access to a quality education, and I mean a real education. One where every student can leave these institutions not only knowing how to read, write, and count, but they know themselves. They love themselves and their community, regardless of their nationality, race, religion, and creed. They must learn that we are one. We need to foster economic opportunities that uplift and eradicate our marginalized communities. There is plenty for everyone when those who have share with those who do not. We need real pathways out of poverty and into prosperity and reparations for the descendants of those who were enslaved and those who had their land, liberty, language, and religion stolen from them all across this country. We need to demand justice, not that fake justice, but real justice in our courts that not only hold the common man accountable, but justice that holds these systems accountable who have intentionally caused harm and continue to cause harm. We hold them accountable. If they are not willing to change, we tear those down too. And we do this work, and as we do this work, we must also mentor, guide, and inspire our youth to carry on the mission with pride. You are not just the leaders of tomorrow, you are the leaders of today, so step into your power. We must instill in them the values of resilience, empathy, and justice so they are equipped to not destroy. Those who came before me did a good job of that, and they're still going. Your job is to rebuild and create a world that is to your liking. You know, Dr. King spoke of this fierce urgency of now. That urgency is as real as today as it was then. So I ask all of you, what are you willing to do? Right. How will you continue lighting the path for the next generation and rebuilding a righteous society out of its ashes? Let us move forward, not just in remembrance of Dr. King, but in honor of his legacy and the legacy of those who came before him. The legacy that was stolen from our ancestors and a commitment to the unfinished work that lies ahead. Let us be the change makers, the bridge builders, and the torchbearers of a movement that can be honest when we sing that song of freedom, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last. And in closing, I'd like to share with you another poem. It is what it is. Can you tell me what that means? We let it get like this, but life ain't really what it seems. We're persuaded by crooked companies to want to find the things in TV and magazines and how we really formed our dreams. As crack hit the ghetto and the poison hit the streams, we blame the ones behind the bars, but not the ones behind the scenes. The media blinds us as the truth runs behind us. Propaganda's everywhere. Souls come out and find us. But no one wants to stand up. You see, everyone is silent. But silence can make noise too if you just listen to its vibrance. You see, Cyrus came to liberate, they say Jesus came to save us, but we all ignore them both because dead men cannot pay us. On the dollar and a dream, but on the road to destruction, we lost our soul to gain the world because we all lack instruction. Dreaming to live our nightmares because we want all that we see, consuming irresponsibly from sea to shining sea. And we say it's fine and we turn our heads because our poor is their rich, but to me, poor is poor, and that thinking is ignorant. See, credit's how they trap you, and our debt runs this country while our banking system's robbed because our government is raunchy. So take a stand, make a fist, and clench it up tight. Lift it high up in the sky, and you make sure that hand is right. It takes discipline and sacrifice, and it won't be overnight, but if you believe we can achieve, then don't leave without a fight. So say it loud and be proud. There's only one solution. Let's come together, rise up, and be the revolution. Thank you.
So much has gone on in the history of this nation to bring us to where we are today. Let us pause for a moment of reflection on what it has taken to give us this wonderful country we call America.
community flame lighters. Come forward, please. At this point in time, we're at the end of our time together, and it's a tradition at our celebration to have what is known as the lighting of the community flame. The community flame is unique to our celebration. It is one of those times when we get a chance to pledge our commitment back to our communities and to really enjoy one another as people in a community. We're going to have candlelighters come, and they're going to represent 5 different aspects of our community. Federal Way, a great place to live, learn, work, worship, and play. In any community that you go to, any culture that you go to, those 5 aspects are always found. Live, learn, work, worship, and play. So today, we're going to join together and we're going to pledge. If I can have everybody please stand, if you would, please. Representing Federal Way, a great place to work, is Mr. Frank Fields. Frank Fields has worked to bring transit to Federal Way. He has lived and served in the community since 1983. He has actually marched with Dr. King. He brought to the City Council the need for a senior advisory board, and his hope for Federal Way is to bring more organizations to help the city. He's going to be passing the torch on to a youth. So youth, representing Federal Way, a great place to live, is Sienna Mayo, the chair of the Federal Way Youth Commission. Oh, okay. She's back. Sienna is a senior at Decatur High School. Her future dream is to become an engineer, and her dream for Federal Way is to see our city improve in its collective action for the betterment of our community, especially on issues that divide us. Wait for her to come. Representing Federal Way, a great place to learn, is Ms. Pam Ash. Pam Ash is a retired teacher with the school district after 35 years. And 50 years in total. She returned to do long-term substitute teaching and volunteering as an advisor to the Federal Way Black Student Union and the Latino community. Her dream is for Federal Way to see all young people fulfill their potential and education in life. Representing the youth, Federal Way, a great place to learn, Alicia Osei, a student at Federal Way High School. She is currently, there we go, Ms. Mayo. Well, that's all right. Go ahead and light your candle, there we go. Ms. Osei is a student at Federal Way High School. She is currently in her sophomore year and is interested in exploring her opportunities, such as speech and debate tournaments. She also is on the superintendent's advisory board. Her dream is for schools to continue to try to give the community and their students, because students work hard to build their future. Representing Federal Way, a great place to work, is Brandon Parker. Husband, father, motivational speaker. He's the founder of the brand Love is Dope, and that proudly represents Federal Way. Brandon celebrates the city's growth as a thriving, diverse community, and his dream is to see Federal Way continue to flourish, supporting its vibrant youth and united in spirit. Representing Federal Way Youth, a great place to work, is Takoa Dumpson, a local businesswoman at the Cisco agency, which has been here in our city for over 40 years. Takoa is proud to be providing protection for our city through her business. She likes to connect and give back to the community as much as she can. She is a consistent donor at the CSL Plasma here in Federal Way. She loves to sing karaoke anytime, anywhere. And her dream for Federal Way is to see the community thrive and to become a safer, more prosperous community. Come on out, Takoa. Representing Federal Way, a great place to worship, is Pastor Gordon Banks. He and his wife, Rosette, co-pastor Overcomer Church. Pastor Banks played professional football for 8 seasons, finishing his career with the Dallas Cowboys. Let us see your face, Mr. Pastor Banks. Here we go. He is a published author, respected community leader who has a passion for people who are hurting. As a pastor, his vision is for Federal Way to continue. His passion for Federal Way is to see that God will save the lost, the sick, and build unity in our community. The youth representing Federal Way, a great place to worship, is R.J. Tassili. R.J. works as an insurance broker, but serves at Overcomer Church as a youth minister. He went to Sacagawea Middle School and graduated from Federal Way High School, out of Federal Way High School. He also is planning to serve with Young Life, especially at Federal Way High School. He absolutely loves Federal Way, and his dream is to bring light to the darkness and hope to the hopeless. Come on out, sir. We heard from him earlier, Evan Cook, representing Federal Way, a great place to play. Come on out, Evan. Varsity football coach at Decatur High School. His goal is to bring the state championship to the city from Federal Way. And his dream is that Federal Way would also be a hub for flourishing black businesses and a home for top state athletes. And representing Federal Way youth is Keith Rogers Jr. Keith is the youngest of 5 siblings and was born in Federal Way to parents Keith and Trinice Rogers. Currently a senior at Todd Beaver High School, Keith is a young man whose faith and love is guided by his spiritual values. He travels, reads, plays sports, and especially enjoys spending time with his family. Known for his patience and compassion and humility, Keith inspires those around him. With his dream for Federal Way is to see our people grow and become happy. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our representatives of our community. And our mayor, Mayor Ferrell, will light the community flame at the appropriate time. We're going to read a pledge. We're all going to pledge together. The lighting of our community flame symbolizes the people of Federal Way. Coming together as one community. Each time this flame is lit, we're reminded that community building is an ongoing process, taking constant work to bring it to reality. If you would please repeat after me. Let us all be dedicated to this constant work of cultivating community. And as we are, we will be graced with a great place to live. For everyone who calls our city home. Mr. Mayor, if you would please. Thank you. Thank you. This time, Kanisha Blackman, if you would please come and close our program for us.
We shall overcome. Come on, let's sing that together. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Sing it real loud. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. Can we sing that one more time? We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I
concludes our program. Thank you for coming. Let's go out into the community. We've done community here. Let's go out into our community and show them just how great our city can be. Thank you for coming.